look at yourself and your practice plans. How do you run your bullpens? Do you give yourself slack? You're trying to finish your lesson, it's a full count, and it's like, well, she could have swung. Well, she might have done this. When you're in a tough game or a tough situation, I wouldn't bet on you. Welcome to the Weekly Dose. My name is Jamie Southern. I want to come to you this week to talk about self-accountability. As pitchers, we want to be the best that we can be. We put in so many hours, so much money, so much just emotions that we give to this sport and this position, and we want something out of it. We want to be the best. I want to be the best that Jamie can be. And some of you want to be the best pitcher in the country, or the best pitcher on your team, or the best pitcher in your high school. There's goals and there's things that you want to accomplish. One of the main ways that we can be the best is to hold ourselves accountable. And what I want to talk about this week is about holding ourselves accountable in practice and in bullpens. A few years ago, I ran into Lisa Fernandez, the pitching coach at UCLA. I played with her on Team USA, and we were talking about during the first week of their practices, she does a drill where she has them throw 10 perfect pitches, and she starts with a fastball down the middle. The drill is not to see what the pitchers can do pitch-wise. She is watching to see how the pitchers hold themselves accountable. Do they throw a pitch that is a couple inches off, and do they say it's perfect? Or do they hold themselves to a higher standard and say, that wasn't perfect, I can do it better? That's that mentality of greatness. You wonder why they produce great pitchers. She holds them accountable. The pitchers hold themselves accountable. There's two types of pitchers out there. There's the ones that really want to get better. They will get uncomfortable. They will sacrifice things to achieve their goal to be the best. And then there's pitchers out there that they say they want to be the best, but they don't like to be uncomfortable. And they like to just feel good. They don't want to work through things in practice. They don't want to do this because that's hard. Pitching is hard. Being great is hard. The great players go through hard things. And it all starts with mental toughness and self-accountability. So I encourage you, this is just a short topic of the week, but I encourage you to look at yourself and your practice plans. How do you run your bullpens? Do you give yourself slack? You're trying to finish your lesson and it's a full count and it's like, well, she could have swung. Well, she might have done this. When you're in a tough game or a tough situation, I wouldn't bet on you. I wouldn't bet on you because in practice, you don't bet on yourself. You're not holding yourself to a standard and say, no, I can do that better. That's the difference. That's the difference of the two. If you say you want to be the best and you say that you want to be the starter on your team, what are you doing in practice? Oh, you practice 3 times a week. Great. That's not enough. That's not enough. Doing it is not enough. How are you growing? How are you getting mentally tougher? Do you hold yourself accountable? Do you hold yourself to a higher standard? I want to finish with one story. Kristina Thorson won the World Series for Cal Berkeley, and she was good. Oh my gosh, man, she had this rise ball that I'm still thinking about because it looked so good. I would swing and I would miss it every single time, not even foul tip it. That's how great it was. And when I think about her in the pro league, I played with her 1 year. I saw her self-discipline practicing. She would do these perfect pitches. She would do like a ladder where 1 perfect pitch, then 2. And if she messed up, she'd start all over at 1. And I'm like, that is hard. That is tough to do. So when I left the field early, as she was staying to work on whatever she was working on to perfect some pitch, I now saw why her rise ball was so great, because the amount of work and toughness that went into it. So get out there, have better practice, hold yourself accountable, perfect something. Don't cut yourself slack. Don't say, well, that might have been a strike. Don't go there. If you want to be the best, you have to practice like the best.